In drama Love Scout second episode continue with, Yunho received the excellent news from his daughter's psychiatrist that Buell no longer needed treatment. He took her to his friend Kong Sok's bookstore. Upon hearing the good news, Kong Sok gifted Buell all the books she wanted and congratulated Yunho for his hard work in helping his daughter heal. When Buell accidentally dropped the books, Kong Sok patiently helped her pick them up. He was then invited to join them for dinner to celebrate. Kong Sok decided to bring his wife Mia along, also planning for her to meet Yunho, who was unemployed, in hopes she might hire him. Mia initially hesitated, noting how that former chief manager at Yunho's previous company had ruined his resume with false accusations. When they arrived at Yunho's home, Mia met Buell, who was clearly well raised by Yunho alone. She was charmed by the neatness and care of his home and impressed by the abundant meal he had prepared. She soon realized that Yunho's organization and dedication weren't limited to his household. From the detailed schedules and notes on the wall for both him and his daughter to his swift reaction when Buell stumbled, protecting her in a way that seemed extraordinary to others but routine for him, Mia was struck by his capability. She also noticed the speed and precision with which he cleaned up any mess, resolving problems instantly. After reviewing his outstanding resume as a general manager of the development team and seeing all his accomplishments, Mia didn't just want to hire him, she practically begged him to take the job. But when Yunho learns that the CEO of Peoples is Ji Yoon, he refuses the job. Desperate to hire him, Mia proposes a deal. He'll take care of Ji Yoon for at least 6 months, which will help erase the stain on his resume, and she promises to assist him in transferring to any company he desires. Even so, Yunho remains reluctant, so Mia appeals to Buell, asking if she wouldn't like to spend more time with her father, promising that he'll work fewer hours a day, giving him more time with her. However, Buell is cute but no fool. She replies that she'd love to spend more time with her dad, but she also likes when he buys her lots of gifts, and for that, he needs more money. Without hesitation, Mia sweetens the deal by offering a 50% increase in the salary he received at Hansu Electronics. With Buell accepting the offer, Yunho has no choice but to agree. The problem now is Ji Yoon accepting him as her secretary, as she's still upset about the harsh words he said to her the last time they met. Yunho reveals that Ho Jin told him she hadn't handled his transfer to the Chinese company, and had even advised him against going. Regretful for how he treated her, Yunho sincerely apologizes and promises to do his best to help her with whatever she needs. However, like a stubborn child, Ji Yoon refuses to forgive him and begins ignoring him. While he can't yet serve as Ji Yoon's secretary, Yunho focuses on assisting the rest of the team as a director. Gwang Hee, ever eager to document how handsome the new director is, films Mia as she introduces him to the team. Kim Yong-soo, manager. Na Gyu Rim, deputy manager. The cheerful and always smiling consultant, Oh Kyung-hwa. Lee Gwang-hee, another consultant, who jokingly advises Yunho to run while he still can. Lastly, Woo Jong-hoon, the CTO, who's essentially useless but was hired because he's the son of a chaebol family that heavily invested in Peoples, and wants him to work to gain experience. Days go by, and Yunho makes no progress as Ji Yoon's secretary, as she refuses to give him any opportunity. On the other hand, as a director, he becomes increasingly beloved by the team, having quickly resolved long-standing issues and optimized the file search system to make everyone's work easier. Despite seeing how competent Yunho is, Ji Yoon stubbornly continues to ignore him and refuses to accept him as her secretary. Undeterred, Yunho decides to focus solely on helping her, even without her asking for anything. With the information Ni provides, he learns everything there is to know about Ji Yoon as a CEO. He memorizes her entire schedule, studies the transfer market in her usual work area, researches the competition, and absorbs all possible information to answer any questions she might have about decision-making. But he doesn't stop there. He begins assisting her on a personal level as well. He makes her life easier by organizing her office, fetching coffee from her favorite spot, staying late to help her, and protecting her from accidents. Eventually, Ji Yoon stops ignoring him, not to praise him, but to tell him he's wasting his time. She declares that she will never work with someone who doesn't respect her or the work she does, as he so clearly demonstrated in the past. Yunho apologizes for misjudging Ji Yoon and promises to set aside his assumptions, focusing solely on supporting her. He emphasizes his extensive managerial experience and his ability to quickly learn new things, saying that all she needs to do is ask, and he will deliver. Ji Yoon reflects on his words and decides to review his impressive resume. There, she discovers that he has a young daughter. The next day, Yunho is the first to arrive at the office and leaves a comprehensive list of companies currently hiring on her desk. He finally gets the temperature of her coffee just right. He stays close to protect her, helps locate documents she's searching for, tidies up her mess, and even adjusts her office door to open both ways to prevent future accidents. Though she continues to avoid speaking to him, everyone notices that Ji Yoon is gradually warming to his presence. While Yunho enjoys a joyful life playing with children, being admired and loved by those around him, and returning to a warm, welcoming home, Ji Yoon comes home to her luxurious but cold and colorless apartment. She receives a message from her rival, Ji Jin, which reminds her of the date, April 2nd, the day her father died while entering a burning building. This trauma still haunts her, leading her to keep her distance from others and prefer isolation. From afar, on her way to work, Yunho notices Ji Yoon looking lonely and deep in thought. Ji Yoon remembers her father, who, despite raising her alone, gave her a good and happy childhood. He had promised to always stay by her side and protect her, but he broke that promise when he entered that burning building and never came back. Yunho continues to observe her and eventually persuades her to join him for lunch. Ji Yoon appears distant and doesn't touch her food, but Yunho gently encourages her to eat. He tells her that while she's probably been to clothing stores, accessory shops, and cosmetic boutiques, she's never seen a meal store because food is meant to be shared in a home. As he prepares a wholesome and delicious plate for her, he explains that it's not just about eating. It's about feeling the care of the person who made the meal, thinking of their loved ones. Since it's been a while since she's had a home-cooked meal, he brought her to this restaurant because the food there carries the same warmth and flavor as homemade dishes. Finally opening up, Ji Yoon tells Yunho that she noticed in his resume he took paternity leave and asks why. Yunho simply replies that he wanted to see his daughter's beautiful smile. Realizing she's genuinely curious, he adds that his daughter needed him, and he kept his promise to always be there for her because she's his everything. As he speaks, Ji Yoon recalls the promise her own father made to her, but failed to keep, and she becomes emotional. Not wanting Yunho to see her in such a vulnerable state, she excuses herself and returns to the office. Concerned about Ji Yoon's persistent headaches, Yunho brings her painkillers and porridge so she can at least eat something. Ji Yoon refuses and tells him to take them back, insisting she can take care of herself. Distracted, she accidentally spills water on some documents, and when Yunho quickly cleans up the mess, Ji Yoon snaps at him, yelling that he keeps doing things she didn't ask for. She tells him that if he wants to be her secretary, he should only do what she tells him. Clearly emotionally shaken by having someone care for her again, Ji Yoon tries to push him away out of fear of becoming attached and orders him to leave. As soon as Yunho leaves, Ji Yoon gets a call from a client who complains that the candidate Peoples provided has backed out, this being the third time in a row. The client informs her that the CEO has decided to cut ties with Peoples and will no longer accept their candidates. Ji Yoon is puzzled about what's happening, but the client warns her that someone is deliberately poaching her candidates to sabotage her. Ji Yoon quickly realizes it's Ji Jin and storms out, instructing Yunho to stay behind and not follow her. She marches into Carrierway and heads straight to the CEO's office to confront Ji Jin, accusing her of playing dirty, lacking professional ethics, and stealing her candidates. Ji Jin dismisses her accusations, smugly claiming it's not her fault if she can offer better deals than Peoples, mockingly calling Ji Yoon incompetent. Ji Yoon retorts that she must be intimidating Ji Jin, given the effort and resources spent just to undermine her. Ji Jin, however, resorts to cruelty, insinuating that the former CEO of Carrierway died because of Ji Yoon, calling that truly frightening. This triggers another trauma Ji Yoon carries. As flashbacks reveal people judging her, labeling her a traitor, shameless, and even a murderer. Ji Yoon takes a deep breath and tries to stay composed as she gives Ji Jin a final warning. "Stop targeting my company or I won't hold back anymore." As Ji Yoon walks away, Ji Jin taunts her, saying she's not afraid, because just like before, Ji Yoon has no one to support her or stand by her side. Deeply disturbed, Ji Yoon begins to have hallucinations of people accusing and judging her as they did 5 years ago, calling her shameless and questioning why she's back in the industry and who she's planning to kill this time. Her headache intensifies, leaving her increasingly dizzy. Ji Yoon struggles to stay upright, looking for someone to help her, but there's no one who cares. Suddenly, through her blurry vision, she sees someone rushing up the stairs toward her. As the figure gets closer, Ji Yoon recognizes him. It's Yunho, her secretary, who disobeyed her orders once again, and, out of concern, followed her to Career Way. She tries to walk toward him but is too weak, and he runs to catch her before she falls. Yunho tries to talk to her, asking if she's okay, but Ji Yoon doesn't respond. Instead, she collapses into his arms, finally feeling safe enough to rest. Yunho was hired to assist Ji Yoon, but he's becoming the one person she can rely on. As her past resurfaces and her walls begin to crack, will she finally accept his help? Or will she shut him out forever? Stay tuned to find out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more amazing dramas like this.